Hey, what's going on there, guys? Alex Chicks back here for another video, and we are actually on the Plan B server, and I thought I'd take you guys how I build these. And yes, I do build this 100% survival. I find cheating not so fun, but I'm going to walk you through just one building if I do get permission, and if I don't, I'll of course tear it all down. It's not a big deal. But so this is kind of the general framework I do. I like to plan out all of the frames and everything. And then next, of course, is probably going to be the roof, which this is a fairly standard roof, just 3 up. And then, of course, you cap them off. Something such as that. As you realize, it's on basically every single roof style that I do. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead, run this roof all the way to about here at the end of the building, and then I'll show you how we connect the buildings and what we do from then. Alright, so now that the building is somewhat has a roof, and that's kind of weird. I was like, why is everything bouncing back and forth? So now that the building has a roof, of course, if we put one here, it will look normal, and of course that is what I'll do. But sometimes you'll run into the problems of having a roof on the inside of your building, which you never want because that's just awkward. But for usually these type of situations, I'll either plop a slab down and something like that, or I'll just throw in a stair. But I think for this scenario, we're probably just going to go with a slab. So now that the roof is done, we're going to come back to the front of the house. And the most important thing is, I think, realistically, that the bottom of buildings are the main structure of the building. So you won't really see any like wool bottoms to any of the buildings I build. They're usually mostly stone. And I try to vary it. So this has stone brick, cobblestone, stone, andesite, a little bit of cobblestone, stone brick, cobblestone, and then stone and cobble. So for that building, I think we'll just go ahead and go with the stone and andesite. Actually, I don't know why I was saying, was I don't know if I was or not, but let's see here. So usually I'll pick what I want to be the main material, which I want it to be mainly stone. And then let's see here. Let's go ahead and just clear this out real fast. Build a little hallway, and then we'll just do some sleazy world edit. So if we go ahead and wand ourselves, let's go here. Okay, sweet, good enough. Just save a little time. So on the inside, yeah, I do add the supports that go all the way through, and this building is a little bit not the same as like all the other ones necessarily, because it has a little overhang at the front of the house. So let's go ahead and clear that, and let's see here. Yeah, that's about it. So if we go ahead and make stone all the way across, I'll show you kind of like what runs through my head while I'm like mixing. There's no real like strategy on how you mix and match blocks. It's just kind of your preference and what you think looks good, honestly. And like people are like, oh, how do you make buildings look good? There's not like a definite answer. It's just in the eye of the beholder, I find. So what I think looks good, some other people will be like, why'd you make that? And I'm like, I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was a cool idea. Usually I'll go off like inspiration. I'll hop into like the Krallis server every once in a while, see what's going on over there. Try to find medieval warps, talk to the people in there, but it's about how I get my inspiration. I have no clue. So for mixing and matching, it's kind of just punch blocks, man. That's all you gotta do. So like, let's see here. Oops. That's fine. But let's see here. We'll go in here, and I try to like close my eyes as much as possible. Not necessarily like keep them closed, but just punch blocks. Some have less than others. And for instance, if you really wanted to get like technical, if you have world edit, you could like 50% this, 50% that. But then again, I don't really use world edit. This is the first time I really tinkered around with it in survival. I hate cheating. I find it so pointless. You'll see people duping items and all that stuff, and I'm like, what's the point of playing on a survival server? But so for the top, we're gonna go ahead and go with, can't do this because having two buildings of the same texture right next to each other is never like the best. But let's see here, let's go ahead and grab that. So if we set, let's see, and the key thing to remember is no one's really going to be seeing the side of your buildings per se, especially if it's the townhouse style. But I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this wall and the front. Alright, now that the roofs, why did I say that? Okay, now that the walls are all filled in, we just have this one little gap to do next. And for windows, I try to have outlines of, let's say, like wood. And that's going to look funky. Like this, and I find it gives more detail if you have like jut outs in the wood where you can see like, oh, that's a cross beam that runs down the middle of the house. And like the overhangs right here, like, oh, this beam runs along here, this beam runs along here, and they're just mixed, matched, and thrown together. Let's see what's, that'll do, it'll do. But let's see here. So for the secondary material, we're gonna go ahead and use the bone block, which is kind of really underrated. And if you are building this and you're in one of the new updates, go ahead and use the new concrete powder. That looks great. If you mix two of the concrete powders together, I believe it looks good. Not everyone's gonna think it looks good. Some people are gonna be like, ew, that looks so ugly and hideous. Why would you even consider doing that? But let's see here. So that's filled in, and that one has, yeah, I'm feeling that. Okay. And for the interior of the houses, I don't really do a whole bunch of interior work, if you can see. Mostly just throw down some torches, connect, let's see here, let's connect this pathway all the way through, and throw a bush in there eventually. But let's see here, plan out a good ladder spot. Here. Looking beautiful. But yeah, that's basically what runs through my head when I'm trying to make one of these buildings. Of course, they don't take the longest time. I don't necessarily know how long. It depends how good of a builder you are and if you know like the style and how you want it to be. But for these little overhang parts, you can either get some spruce fences, that looks good, or if we go ahead and grab some stone, let's see here, let's grab a wall and some stairs. You could either go like this for like a support, saying, oh, that's not just floating there, or you can pop in some fence posts, which that's not really going to work in this scenario because it would look better if it was like that. But logistically, I find it looked better like that. So if we go ahead and throw that like that, that's basically what runs through my mind while trying to record one of these, I guess. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, leave your comments, and let me know feedback and anything I can improve on, anything you want me to add to the village. If you want to see like a Let's Play survival type thing, we could always throw one of those in there. But thanks again for watching, guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening or morning.